The Silent Wings of Hope. In the heart of a quiet, forgotten village nestled between rolling hills and thick forests, lived a young orphan boy named Andy. He had been only 6 years old when a terrible accident claimed the lives of his parents. Since then, his life had been nothing short of painful and full of hardship. With no other family to turn to, Andy was taken in by his uncle, a gruff, cold man with a temper as fiery as a summer storm. The house they lived in was small, tucked away on the outskirts of the village, overshadowed by the cold stone walls and a towering, angry oak tree that seemed to mirror his uncle's demeanor. Andy was made to work from dawn till dusk. Every chore, no matter how small or trivial, had to be done perfectly. A cracked plate would send his uncle into a fury. A misplaced sock could lead to hours of scolding. And each time Andy made a mistake, his uncle's harsh voice would fill the house, making the walls feel even colder, the shadows longer. But there was one thing that always brought Andy a sense of peace amidst the chaos: a little pet dove named Whisper. Whisper was always by Andy's side, cooing softly in his ear, bringing a small comfort to his troubled life. Whisper was more than just a pet. It was his companion, his only friend. Andy had built a little birdhouse for Whisper in the corner of the garden, and every day he would feed it, talking softly to it, as if it understood his deepest sorrows. One crisp autumn afternoon, Andy decided to take a walk through the village. His uncle had sent him to fetch some firewood, but Andy's heart ached for something more than the repetitive labor of the farm. He needed an escape, even if just for a moment. The sun was dipping low, casting a golden hue over the fields. As he passed the cobbled streets of the village, Andy noticed something unusual. A frail old man was struggling to make his way down the path, hunched over and leaning on a cane for support. Without a second thought, Andy approached the old man, offering him a steady arm to lean on. "Are you all right, sir?" Andy asked softly, his heart swelling with concern. The old man looked up, his eyes cloudy with age, but there was a flicker of gratitude in them. "Thank you, young one. I haven't got much strength left. My legs are not what they used to be," he replied, his voice raspy. Andy helped him to his feet and guided him slowly to his home, a small cottage at the edge of the village. The door creaked as the old man opened it, revealing a humble interior. Shelves upon shelves of dusty books lined the walls, the pages yellowed and forgotten. The air was thick with the scent of aged paper and mildew. "I haven't been able to care for the books for some time now," the old man admitted as he sat down on a rickety chair. "My legs no longer work, and I have no one to help me." Andy, whose love for books was second only to his love for Whisper, felt a spark of hope in his chest. "I can help," he said with a bright smile. "I love books. I can clean the shelves, organize the books, and make this place a real library again." The old man's eyes twinkled. "You would do that, lad? That would mean the world to me. I've always dreamed of this library being a place where people can come and learn. Not just the village folk, but children too. People from all over." Andy's heart swelled with pride. He had found something he truly loved: helping others, giving them what he had always craved: knowledge. The old man smiled, his frail hands trembling as he handed Andy an envelope. "This is for you, Andy," he said, his voice gentle but firm. "It's a letter, and open it when you reach home, and come back if you accept this letter." Andy took the envelope with both hands, his heart racing. "Thank you, sir." As he left the old man's house, the envelope felt heavy in his hands, but it was a weight of responsibility he was eager to carry. Little did Andy know, this simple act of kindness would change the course of his life forever. When Andy arrived back at his uncle's house, he was greeted with the usual scowl and a list of chores to complete. But before he could even step inside, his uncle snatched the envelope from his hand. "Where do you think you're going with this?" his uncle growled. "You think you're going to spend your time at some library? No, you're going to work. You're going to earn your keep." Andy, his heart sinking, tried to explain, but his uncle's anger was a wall he could never break through. He slumped down in the garden, defeated, staring at the ground. He had never been able to stand up to his uncle, and now he felt as if all his dreams were slipping away. But then, something remarkable happened. Whisper, his beloved dove, fluttered down from the tree and landed beside him. To Andy's surprise, the dove gently nudged the envelope towards him, as if it had found it hidden somewhere in the house. The dove cooed softly, and Andy's eyes widened in disbelief. The bird had somehow managed to retrieve the letter from where his uncle had hidden it. Tears welled up in Andy's eyes as he opened the envelope. Inside was the old man's letter, along with a note of trust and hope. Andy read the words, his heart pounding. "Andy, you are the heart and soul I have been waiting for. This library is yours to nurture, to grow, to build into something the village will never forget. You will be its keeper, and in turn, it will help you grow into the person you are meant to be. I believe in you, young one. Do not let anyone take this from you." A surge of determination filled Andy's heart. He would not let his uncle's cruelty stop him. He would not let fear hold him back. The library was his future, and he would make it thrive. The next morning, with Whisper perched on his shoulder, Andy packed his belongings and left the house that had never felt like home. He walked through the village, his feet lighter than they had ever been, and made his way to the old man's cottage. There, he began his work. He dusted the shelves, organized the books, and created a welcoming space for anyone who wanted to learn. Day by day, the library began to transform. Andy, with his bright ideas and relentless energy, invited the children from the village to come and read, to draw, to write. He hosted competitions, writing contests, drawing exhibitions, and storytelling events to spark the imagination of the young and old alike. The library quickly became a vibrant hub of creativity, knowledge, and connection. Over time, the people of the village began to see the library as a treasure. Parents brought their children, school teachers encouraged their students to use it, and even the elderly came to sit and read. Word spread to nearby villages, and soon, the once-forgotten library became a beacon of hope and learning for the entire region. As the years passed, Andy grew into a young man, wise beyond his years. The library, now filled with people of all ages, stood as a testament to his hard work, determination, and the kindness of an old man who had believed in him when no one else did. And though the old man was no longer there to see it, his legacy lived on through Andy's work. One evening, as Andy sat in the quiet of the library, surrounded by the books he had come to love, Whisper fluttered down beside him. He smiled, reaching out to pet the dove. He knew now that no matter how hard life had been, no matter how cruel his uncle had been, the world had a way of guiding him toward his true path. And in the wings of a silent dove, Andy had found his freedom, his purpose, and his place in the world.